It was a rare reunion of the world's most exclusive club had as the Bush Presidential Center opened on the campus of Southern Methodist University.
So, Mr. President, let me say that I'm filled with admiration for you and deep gratitude for you about the great contributions you've made to the most needy people on earth.
It's a great pleasure to be here and to honor our son, our oldest son. And this is very special for Barbara and me. And thank you all for coming, and to all those who made this marvelous museum possible. We thank you especially, and we're glad to be here. God bless America, and thank you very much.
People began to joke that I was getting so close to the Bush family I had become the black sheep's son. My mother told me not to talk too long today. And Barbara, I will not let you down.
Mr. President, for your service, for your courage, for your sense of humor, and most of all, for your love of country, thank you very much.
For 8 years, you gave me the honor of serving as your president, and today I'm proud to dedicate this center to the American people. It's the honor of a lifetime to lead a country as brave and as noble as the United States. Whatever challenges come before us, I will always believe our nation's best days lie ahead. God bless.
Truly an amazing sight. Now we're going to get to Dana's interview with 43 in the next segment, so stay with us. But first, Dana, tell us what today was like.
Well, I don't know if I can ever watch that clip without crying myself, because I'm wiping away the tear here in front of everyone. I loved today. I loved everything about it. I wish so much that my friends at the Five could have been there with me, because it was such a moment of history, and I know you all love those events. I know Eric especially, you would have loved it. You would have loved to meet everybody. The weather was perfect. The president's speeches were great. I've never seen Mrs. Bush as joyful as she was today, surrounded by friends and family with this beautiful library and all of the support that she got. It was just truly amazing. And when 41 spoke, and then when he stood for just that moment, there wasn't a dry eye anywhere in Dallas.
Hey, Dana, how did you get the sense that the five presidents were getting along? I mean, these are guys who had their differences in a lot of things, but it seemed to me that they had rallied today, and they felt very, very much of the elite club that they are.
I think that they have tremendous respect for one another, and that it's an understanding that none of us who never will be president could ever understand. And I think they loved the library. They felt very welcomed here in Dallas. All of the remarks were terrific. I could have sat and listened to it all day. And I also think that they really appreciated what President Bush had done at the museum. You heard both President Clinton and President Obama talk about the library and the decision theater, where you get to decide if President Bush's decisions were ones that you would have made, and you could make other ones if you choose. And it's very interactive, and I think they really appreciated the majesty of what was created here in Dallas.
Please, before you say none of us are going to be president, I have not taken my hat out of the ring.
Speak for yourself, Perino.
Yeah,
Bob, few of us who think we still have a chance.
Bob, you'd never pass the security clearance of your background, unfortunately, buddy.
But he knows a few people. Eric, do you have a question for Dana?
No, Dana, a couple of observations. I thought President Carter and President Clinton's speeches were very nice. They're very very nice for 43 to be listening to. Can I do this? It's too early in the show to do this, but I felt President Obama's speech was a little predictable, a little self-centered, and for him to bring up immigration in that speech, I thought it was absolutely the wrong time to do it.
No comment. Okay.
I didn't take it that way necessarily. I know that President Clinton talked about immigration as well. It is one of the exhibits in the library talking about President Bush's attempt, a failed attempt, I would say, to get comprehensive immigration reform done. Overall, I think that people maybe just let that one slide here at the event, because the atmosphere was just one of wonderful collegiality. And all of these guys, they get together and they have to put politics to the side. And I think they probably would have done that today on that issue.
Andrea?
Hey, DP, so I think a lot of people, when they watch these type of ceremonies and they see all the faces in the crowd, they wonder what really is going on behind the scenes. Any funny stories that you can tell us? Because it's not just the 5 presidents, it's a lot of high-profile people from D.C., your former colleagues, maybe some of Obama's staff. Any funny stories you can share with the viewers?
Well, last night we went to something called the Supper on the Lawn that the President and Mrs. Bush hosted, and it was like going to a college reunion or high school reunion without all the pressure, to look great or whatever. A lot of people have had children since we left the White House, so I got to catch up with a lot of them. A lot of 5 fans here. I mean, everybody wanted to know if Bob really believes the things that he says.
The answer is no.
They asked about the chemistry on the 5. A lot of people said, we watch you every day at 4 or at 3 or at 2 or 5. So it was just, it's all been so positive and a real chapter ending for a lot of us who were hoping that this day would come where people had a little bit of distance from the presidency to see it for what we saw it as.
Brian?
Dana, my impression was the president didn't really care that much. His approval rating was down when he left. Now it's at 47%, even on so-called enemy polls. Does he care?
I wish I was more like him because he doesn't seem to really worry about it. You know, he tells this story about having met George Washington, give me a break. Read 3 stories about George Washington. And if they're still writing history about the first president and analyzing his decisions, then the 43rd doesn't have a lot to worry about because he won't ever be around to know.
Gotcha.
I think today it was really special for them because they became grandparents last week. Jenna and Henry were here. Their daughter Barbara was here. Their whole family. And also a huge amount of staff and a big crowd at SMU who was just so excited to have them here. And you might hear some music in the background. There's going to be a big party tonight with fireworks and the whole works.
All right. Well, Dana, stay right there. Don't go away, 5 viewers, because more of Dana's special interview is coming up on The 5's brand new granddaughter. You're going to hear from him next on The 5.